Before we go any further, I need you to stop whatever you're doing and pay attention because what I'm about to tell you will shake you to your core. The wrestling world has been hit with news so devastating, so absolutely heartbreaking, that fans across the globe are struggling to process it. Bianca Belair, the ist of WWE, the woman who has dominated every championship she's touched, the powerhouse who has inspired millions, is now facing the darkest moment of her entire life. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, this isn't clickbait, this isn't exaggeration, this is a moment that will change professional wrestling forever. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. You're probably saying, Wrestling Zone, what are you talking about? And that's exactly why I need you to stick with me through this entire video, because the details surrounding this tragedy are complex, the emotions are raw, and the impact on WWE programming going forward is something nobody could have predicted. Let me ask you something in the comments right now. How would you cope if you lost the person closest to you while being under the brightest spotlight in entertainment? Bianca Belair and Montez Ford weren't just husband and wife. They weren't just two WWE superstars who happened to fall in love. They were the power couple of professional wrestling. Think about it, Bianca, the former SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion, arguably one of the greatest female athletes to ever step foot in a WWE ring, married to Montez Ford, one half of the Street Profits, a man whose charisma and athletic ability made him a future world champion in everyone's eyes. Together, they represented everything right about modern wrestling: dedication, excellence, love, and partnership both inside and outside the ring. Their love story was something straight out of a movie, meeting in WWE's developmental system, grinding together through the ranks, supporting each other through injuries, celebrating victories together, and standing by each other during the toughest moments of their careers. Bianca has spoken countless times in interviews about how Montez was her rock, her foundation, the person who believed in her even when she doubted herself. And Montez? He couldn't go a single interview without gushing about his wife, talking about how proud he was of everything she accomplished. But now, that foundation has been shattered into a million pieces. The details emerging from this situation are absolutely gut-wrenching. Sources close to the situation have described Bianca as being completely devastated, inconsolable, unable to comprehend how her world has been turned upside down in an instant. Can you even imagine? One moment you're planning your future together, thinking about your next matches, your next championships, maybe starting a family, and the next moment everything you've built together is gone. Drop a comment below and tell me, what was your favorite Bianca and Montez moment? What makes this even more tragic is the timing. Bianca has been on an absolute tear lately, reminding everyone why she's called the ist of WWE. She's been putting on clinic after clinic, showing the younger generation what it means to be a champion, what it means to carry yourself with pride and dignity. Her matches have been stealing shows, her presence has been commanding attention, and her future looked brighter than ever. Montez, alongside Angelo Dawkins as the Street Profits, had been building momentum too, showing the WWE Universe that they weren't just tag team specialists but legitimate main event players. They had it all figured out. The perfect balance of their careers, their relationship, their lives. And now Bianca is forced to navigate the most difficult journey any human being can face: grief, loss, and somehow finding the strength to continue when everything inside you is screaming to just stop. The WWE locker room is reportedly in complete shock. Superstars from both Raw and SmackDown have been reaching out, offering support, sharing their own tears and disbelief. Because here's the thing, this isn't just about losing a colleague. This is family. The WWE roster is a tight-knit community, and when tragedy strikes one of their own, it strikes all of them. Triple H, as the head of creative, now faces an impossible decision. How do you handle this on television? How do you address something so personal, so painful, in front of millions of viewers? Do you acknowledge it? Do you give Bianca space and time away from the cameras? Do you write her off television temporarily? These aren't just creative decisions, these are decisions that will impact a grieving woman's healing process. And let's be real about something that nobody wants to talk about but we need to address: the pressure that comes with being a WWE superstar doesn't stop just because tragedy strikes. There are contracts, obligations, storylines, pay-per-views scheduled months in advance. The machine keeps moving, and that creates an impossible situation for someone like Bianca, who is trying to process unimaginable grief while also being one of the faces of the company. Here's a question for the longtime fans. Comment below if you remember other times WWE has had to deal with real-life tragedy affecting their superstars. Think about the domino effect this creates. The Street Profits, one of the most popular tag teams in WWE, are now down a member. Angelo Dawkins has lost his tag team partner and his friend. Storylines that were being built have to be completely scrapped or rewritten. But more than that, think about the emotional toll on everyone involved. Every time someone in the back sees Bianca, they are reminded of this tragedy. Every time Angelo performs, he's reminded his partner isn't there beside him. This is where we need to have a real conversation about the human cost of entertainment. We, as fans, we consume wrestling content week after week, we critique performances, we fantasy book storylines, we debate championships and pushes and character directions. But we sometimes forget that behind every character is a real human being with real emotions, real relationships, and real tragedies. Bianca Belair isn't just the ist. She's a woman who just lost her husband. She's someone who is waking up every morning to an empty space beside her. She's someone who has to figure out how to function, how to breathe, how to exist in a world that suddenly feels completely foreign and hostile. The strength it would take to even consider stepping back into a WWE ring after something like this is unfathomable. Some people might say wrestling is her escape, it'll help her heal. Others might say she needs to take all the time in the world, her health comes first. And you know what? Both perspectives come from a place of care, but neither of us truly knows what Bianca needs right now because we're not living her nightmare. Drop a comment. Do you think WWE should give Bianca an indefinite leave of absence, or would returning to the ring help her healing process? What compounds this tragedy is the public nature of it. Bianca can't grieve privately. Every tear, every moment of pain, every step of her healing process will be scrutinized by millions. Social media, which can be a beautiful tool for support, can also be a toxic wasteland of speculation, rumors, and inappropriate commentary. And unfortunately, there will be people who cross lines, who say insensitive things, who treat this like it's just another wrestling storyline rather than a real woman's real pain. This is where the WWE Universe needs to come together and show what we're really made of. Forget the brand wars, forget the tribal chief debates, forget whether you prefer Raw or SmackDown. Right now, one of our own needs our support, our compassion, and our respect for her privacy and her process. The legacy of Montez Ford will live on through every highlight reel, every incredible athletic display, every moment he made us smile with the Street Profits. But more importantly, his legacy will live on through the love he shared with Bianca, through the example they set as a couple, and through the way they elevated each other both personally and professionally. As this story continues to develop, as more information becomes available, we need to remember to lead with empathy. We need to remember that our words have power, that our actions have consequences, and that behind every WWE superstar is a human being deserving of dignity and respect. Bianca Belair has proven time and time again that she's the strongest woman in WWE, but even the strongest among us need support when facing the unthinkable. Even the ist needs her village, her community, her family, and that includes us, the fans who have cheered her every victory and now must stand with her through her darkest valley. Leave a respectful comment below sharing your support for Bianca during this impossible time. The road ahead for Bianca is long, painful, and uncertain. But if there's one thing we know about the ist of WWE, it's that she's a survivor, a fighter, and someone who embodies strength even when everything inside is broken. Whatever she decides, whether that's taking time away, returning to the ring,